Hey guys, it's Rodney and welcome back for another garden tour. It's been a couple of months, so we finally crossed into the fall season and we had a bit of a rough go this summer. But one nice thing to get us started was our root beer plants have finally grown in. These guys are looking nice and full and tall, and they have kind of shaded out some of the lower stuff, so things like the caladiums didn't quite make it through that rough summer we had just had. It was really dry, and we don't like to overwater or waste any water, but our root beer plants at least did thrive, and we did transplant a couple of the smaller guys, like some of the dwarf Morelli and such, into another part of the yard, which we'll see some big changes in just a minute. But because the summer was so dry, we also struggled with a lot of bugs. Things like spider mites and muleys were really bad this year. But on top of that, we also struggled with a bunch of bugs inside the house because this is Central Texas. So it's a really great time to tell you about this awesome new product, Pesty. If you guys haven't checked out Pesty yet, check them out. You guys know our situation. We don't always have access to a vehicle right now, so the fact that it delivers straight to our door was super convenient. Pesty's home kit has made this super easy. They even send you gloves to wear. In 3 easy steps, you'll have your home treated and safe and protected from bugs. First, we'll put on our application gloves. Next, we'll open up our home barrier products. And we're gonna just take this bottle, pour it into this bag, basically fill to the fill line with water, and we're good to go.
Pesty only sends pro-grade products that work insanely well. They're the same products that pros use at only 1/4 the cost of a normal pest control company.
So once you've got your bag filled, you just then take your applicator, slide the hose end in, tighten our nozzle down here nice and snug. All we have to do, extend this guy, and we're ready to go.
When you buy Pesty products, it's optimized for your exact locations, bugs, and climates. You'll always get the most effective products delivered right at the perfect time. You can cancel anytime, and there's never any contracts. All of Pesty's products are kids and fur baby approved. Pesty has a 100% money-back satisfaction guarantee, so they'll do whatever it takes to get rid of your bugs and make you happy. Thank you, Pesty, for sponsoring this video.
Because the applicator is rechargeable, all I have to do in the future is just order a refill kit and I'm good to go. So since Pesty helped us out with our summer bugs, it also allowed us a lot of use of our outdoor shower. You guys know we love our crossvine, and I don't think that it doesn't have a growing season. It just kind of keeps growing. But it's already covered about 2/3 of the new pergola here, and so this spring we're really excited to see what kind of a bloom set we get. We did not really take into account the fact that the new pergola structure here was going to kind of shade this side wall, which we are used to being really full. So it did drop some leaves. So it'll be really interesting this spring just to kind of see where that comes along. In our side bed, not a whole lot of changes, just a lot of maturity. We did have a couple of Indian hawthorns that we think just weren't getting quite enough sun under the shade and filtered light of the tree, so we moved those to a sunnier area. Fingers crossed those guys make it, but we may have done that a little too late. But the root beer plant, of course, all of our elephant ears have been doing really well in this kind of bright shade. And then our coral honeysuckle here, she's been doing pretty well, hanging in there. Again, it was kind of a rough summer, but with some of the extra water from the outdoor shower, it seems to have done really well. Now that it's gotten up a little bit in height, I think it's gonna get a little bit more sun, and hopefully we'll get a nice little bloom set out of this guy. The hummingbirds also love the coral honeysuckle. Along the back side, we've got a few new additions, but one of them being a new gravel walkway. We had a little excess pea gravel from our new patio space that we'll see in just a minute. So we allowed that to kind of bring that around and connect into the main patio, and it's very much Remy approved. Remy likes it. Our banana's been doing really well. This is its 4th set of new leaves, I believe. We do have an old leaf here that needs to be cut off, but it's been hanging in there and doing fairly well. This winter we'll have to mulch that pretty heavily because it is going to be its first winter through the season. So we'll see how well that does. And our Mediterranean fan palm has really bounced back. It's now got a full crown of foliage and 2 or 3 new leaves already in there still coming out. So really having high hopes for that guy. And the frog fruit has basically covered this whole area, kind of carpeted this whole space. So that's worked out really well. It's growing on this side of the path as well. The blue mist flower has done really well this season. It was filled with butterflies. We did just have some heavy rains that kind of knocked it down. That's one of the funny things with this plant, but it is starting to go to seed, and we've got a couple of small blooms left on it. But once this guy seeds out, we really hope that it'll kind of carpet out this area And our transplanted Turk's cap that we added from our front yard to the backyard here has also been holding in really well. So really excited to see what that does this spring. We're getting into the fall season, like we said, so the peach tree is going to start getting a little thin. It will drop some of its leaves, and then we'll go through and do some pruning before spring flowering, just to really shape it up and make sure that we get the best produce out of it. This is one of the little babies of the dwarf Aurelia that we did transplant from the bed on the other side with the root beer plants. She's holding in there. You know, we'll see how well she takes. But we tried an experiment this year, and we took a cutting of the purple heart here. I also forgot that I did an experiment with the ginger. So I've got a ginger growing out of the middle of this because we just kind of keep moving things around in our garden. But it's actually done really well, surprisingly. Now, in this area, we've kind of got a whole new structure. So on the back side of the fire pit, we added the pea gravel. The pea gravel is going to come down to basically a brick circle and create like kind of a focal point here. But we have transplanted and moved some stuff around just to formalize this area a little bit. We moved our white salvia from the fire pit space over to here. So we've got a chinkapin here. We're hoping that, you know, in 20 years, we've got a nice big canopy out of that. Part of Barbados is doing really well. And then we also transplanted some of the prairie verbena, which is a native to our central Texas area, as well as their twisted leaf yucca. She was doing pretty rough in her original spot. That's why we brought her over here to get a little more sun. So fingers crossed, she does really well this spring. But now that we've got this kind of focal point here off of the new patio space, which we'll check out in a minute, we also added an additional branch of the walkway to kind of come through into our new kind of captured quote-unquote lawn space. We basically made a really large circle to kind of play off some of the other circles like the pool. And that creates kind of a little garden path to an area that can be more of kind of a play space, if you will, in here. And then hopefully by early spring, we're adding in a few more plants. I'd like to really add in some things like miscanthus and little blue stem grass along the edge to really emphasize the curve of this space. But as part of our breeze block wall project that we did recently, we just decided to keep going in the landscape. So on this side, we added in the reuse of some I-beams. These were 10-inch I-beams that we kind of dug into the grade to line up with the footer of our new breeze block wall to create a terraced area. It also left a little bit of space for, of course, water runoff and us to move some wheelbarrows and carts along the side. Our little DIY concrete globe, it's more of an organic globe. It's a circle, semi-spherical. But with some practice, we'll get there. We also took some more of the Mexican honeysuckle from the front as transplants, and we've placed them on the lower side of this step, as well as on the upper side. We thought the orange pop would be really nice. They fill out a space really, really well, like we can see in the front yard and over by the fire pit. So having that orange pop will be really sharp. We also have a lot of hummingbirds in our yard, and hummingbirds love a bright tubular flower. So this should be pretty active little corner. We've also then taken a small cutting of some fig ivy that we're going to hopefully baby through the winter. That'll eventually attach itself to just the solid block portion of the wall here. We are going to keep it off of the breeze block, of course, but we're thinking allow it to grow across this wall could be pretty sharp. And then another location for an Italian cypress that we originally had along the deck before we extended the patio size. We've also placed here to give us kind of some height and anchor this space. And then in the future, we'll probably do some poured concrete stepstones that'll come through this area just to help kind of solidify and kind of a space of transition between coming off the deck into the yard area. And then in this area here, we're going to add a couple more raised beds. So this will kind of be our little homestead nook, I suppose, for this space in here. New rain tank base so that the rain tank is near our little homestead nook. And then we moved the gravel from our fire pit area to kind of create a walkway down the side of the house here to connect to the front, which then led us to our new breeze block wall. New paint color behind the kitchen that we're playing with. And then, of course, our whole new patio space. If you guys have not seen that video, keep an eye out for that. But we did sink in our stock tank pool. We extended our deck over to make that one kind of cohesive space. The goal there being we wanted to stop walking through the dirt to get to the pool, so we've got a nice little hangout nook there. And then with moving the black star gravel that was here over to the other side, we replaced all of this with the pea gravel and extended that all the way over to around the pool. It's a lot softer on the foot, a lot softer to the touch, and more importantly for us, it was just kind of a warmer color for this space that we were hoping to get. And then the wall that was behind the kitchen as a slat wall, where we've seen before in the garden tours where we had our clippies hanging, we did remove that because of the breeze block, and then we reused that on the back side of this dining area now, bringing the dining area off of the deck to get us more space there. But we reused that wall here. It's kind of just a visual stop, making this area feel more like the outdoor living. Created the arbor that walks us through to the garden where we just were, with the new little brick circle, which we're still working on. But yeah, it creates kind of a new outdoor living patio space that feels a little bit larger, but at the same time feels a little bit more intimate and a little bit more purposeful in its use. So in the bed along the fire pit here, because of kind of the change of use and the change of shape of this area, we did transplant a lot of the smaller guys into the backside that we saw earlier, but for the most part everything here has been holding on pretty well. We've been slowly kind of plucking things out and transplanting them. We're thinking that we're going to thin out this bed a little bit to be able to extend this seating a little bit deeper and larger around the fire pit space here. This is the Mexican honeysuckle that we've also transplanted from the front yard. This was installed, I think, last year, but you can see how well it's loving this space. And some of our grasses here have been doing fairly well, but I think we've lost about 2 of them. They were a little bit struggling last year as well, but the 3 of them still stand really nice here. They're looking really good. These guys are the big muley grass. And then our Artemisia, of course, thriving, loving life. She's just going to always keep growing and growing and growing some more. And then this past spring, or I guess it was early summer, we did take some cuttings and some bulbs of cannas from my mom's place, and we transplanted them here. One thing that we realized about this space is that it stays a little bit moist from the outdoor shower and the use of the outdoor shower. So stuff that likes the water a little bit more has always performed a little bit better here. So we tried the cannas here just to give us a little extra height, and they've been doing really well so far. They've taken to the transplant really well. All of our potted plants are still doing really well. Again, if you don't have an aloe vera, get an aloe vera. It's great to have around in your yard. But our San Pedros, another aloe vera. Our Jatropha is actually going through a whole other bloom cycle now because, you know, this is Texas and it's 85 degrees one day and then 40 the next for winter. And then again, the gravel connects us up through into our carport. And in the courtyard space, we did move in some of the hanging baskets of cuttings of our pothos ivy that we did. So we've got 3 of those guys outside our main dining room windows, kind of creating a curtain. This winter, what we're gonna do, because these were single cuttings, most of them were only like 4 to 5 inches long, we are gonna chop these guys, reroot them, and then let them fill out on the top side so that we get kind of more of a curtain effect here along the fence line at the entryway. Our Ficus Ali has been doing pretty well. It's gotten to at least fill out. It gets a little bit more sun in this location, so she's handling that a lot better. But of course, our queen, the staghorn fern, has really loved the summer temperatures, and it has really filled out this year. I feel like it's almost doubled in size compared to what it's done in the last couple of years. The leaves are like 2 to 3 foot long on each side, so it's really been filling out. I think it really likes its new space. It actually gets a little bit less direct sun here, where we had it hanging in the yard before on the oak tree on the other side. It was getting a lot of direct afternoon sun, and I think it may have been just a little too harsh for it. So hanging in this space with a denser canopy, it's getting more filtered light all day long, and she's just been thriving. The Syngonium, of course, has totally filled out its basket again. Another haircut will be had soon on that guy. And then our fiddle leaf fig has grown, of course, another foot. But it at least filled out. We were a little worried about it this year, but she's doing really well. And the crossvine that was planted here with a boxwood, we did lose the boxwood to a fungal issue, so we are working on replacing that guy. But the crossvine has been doing great and really thriving, and it has, I mean, almost covered this whole front half of the pergola already. And what is that, almost 4 months of growth, I guess, technically? So yeah, it's been doing really well. We've been just kind of slowly wrapping and tying it amongst itself because all that new growth is always really tender. It's the same process that we went through in the backyard with the pergola, that the first couple of years of growth, you really want to make sure that you weave and give direction to the growth so it knows where to go. We have been using some plant ties in some lighter areas because again, the new growth is so tender, it's soft, it can flop around in the wind, so the tie really helps keep things in place. And then every few weeks, like we need to do now, we'll go through, and any of these ones that are drooping down, we'll kind of weave back in amongst themselves so it holds nice and tight and snug. But yeah, it's been doing really well. It's loving this location. We're really hoping to see some cool blooms this spring right at the entryway of the home. We've also been working on rooting and transplanting a bunch of frog fruit to replace most of this front lawn space with the frog fruit. Frog fruit's a really great turf alternative, and then we'll let things like the horse herb and stuff take over. We do have some annual winter rye popping up. We did not plant that this year. It's from like 4 years ago, but still randomly comes up every couple of years. And then we also transplanted our yucca rostradas from the backyard where they were starting to really get shaded out. So we've brought these guys out to the front where they get a lot more sun. So they get a few hours of morning sun, but in the afternoon and evening, they get a lot of direct sun, that hot afternoon sun, which they love. And the mailbox planter is looking beautiful. We've got a twist leaf yucca and a pal leaf yucca up there, as well as a couple of sedums that are still kind of small. But the white trailing lantana, of course, is popping off. Loves the direct sun and the heat. And then we took one of the Italian cypress from the back and brought it up front here. And then in the future, hopefully early spring at the latest, we'll be putting in a bunch of grasses along here, along kind of the guest parking space along the mailbox. So in the front bed here, this is a bed that existed when we moved in that we really didn't do a lot to, but in comparison to March's garden tour, everything's filled in and grown in. So the ruellias here, the Mexican petunias they call them, are, well, almost 4 foot tall. And then we've got the Mexican honeysuckle. This winter we'll probably work on putting or kind of keeping at bay the Mexican petunia because it is starting to overgrow the Mexican honeysuckle. The Mexican petunia can be kind of an aggressive grower, so it is good to kind of thin it out every couple of years. So we'll probably do that late this winter, but the Mexican honeysuckle is thriving. It's all across the road front there. This is the Mexican honeysuckle where we actually take transplants for the backyard that we just saw along the breeze block wall and such. But this is where we get that from. But they've been doing really well and have filled out since our last tour. Well, that's it for today's garden tour. We want to say thank you guys for joining us. As always, a huge shout out to all of our members. If you guys like this content, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Tell us what parts of the garden that you really like or what parts of the garden you want to see more of. If you have not already, definitely be sure to check out Pesty. They have got some awesome products delivered straight to your door. We'll see you guys next time.